So I want to share a story. Recently, I was having a conversation with a group of young guys, and we were just talking back and forth, bouncing ideas about the content that I've been producing, getting their thoughts, making sure that it's relevant to where they are and all the above. And one of the young guys, his name is Eli, he said, "Coach Nick, you got to start talking about relationships." And I just laughed because I told him I am not the relationship guy. I'm not the person to be giving relationship advice. And he said, "Well, why is that?" And I just said, as we talk about taking inventory of the 7 areas of well-being, you have to know where all of those 7 areas rank in your life. What are your strengths and what are your weaknesses? And I was just transparent with them. I said, for me, relationally, relational well-being has always been an area where I have a lot of room for improvement. And he said, well, even in knowing that you have room for improvement, he said, what's one piece of advice that you would give people in regards to relationships? So I thought about it for a little bit, and I just told him that if you find partnership or you enter into partnership before you discover your identity, then you are self-sabotaging your relationships. And he just said, well, Coach, expand on that. And I just told him, if you look at order, right there, you always hear me talk about order. I think that there is an order in every area of our lives. And relationally, what order looks like, I think it could be found in the book of Genesis, chapter 1 and 2. We see that the first thing that God gives man and woman is an identity. The second thing that he gives is purpose. And then he gives partnership. So if you enter into partnership before you find identity and purpose, you are inviting chaos and disorder into your relationship. I think that the reason why, this is my belief, the reason why God gives identity and purpose, because one of the main cornerstones and reasons for partnership is to support. So if I enter into a relationship with you and you don't know who you are or why you're here, then I literally and figuratively serve no purpose in your life. So I think that discovering who we are and why we're here allows us to be better partners, whether it's an intimate relationship, whether it's a business relationship, a familial relationship, whatever it is. I think when you discover your identity, it allows you to be a better partner. And as I was having that discussion with them, I thought about something that my pastor said recently. And he said that the first descriptive that we see for God is creator. The first descriptive used for man is image bearer. The first descriptive used for humankind as a whole was naked. And the first descriptive used for Satan is the liar, and lying, sneaky, manipulative, crafty, I think was the exact word that he used. So in the context of this conversation, the reason why that came to my mind is because the first thing that the enemy will try to talk you out of, and the thing that he will try to lie and manipulate, is your identity. And in not discovering your identity, usually what we do is we use things to hide behind because we feel naked. And without identity, you'll always feel naked. But if I enter into a partnership, if the enemy tricks me into not knowing my identity, and he can get me into entering into a partnership to use that to cover up my nakedness, what he does is he actually keeps me from discovering the thing that will allow me to move forward and better support my relationships and my partnerships, which is identity. Because if I discover my identity, then I can be a better support and I can be a better partner. So I think it's extremely important to discover your identity. The other thing that you run the risk of is if you enter a relationship without finding your identity, the person that you're in partnership with now might not be the person that you're in partnership later. Because once I discover my identity, I become a new person. Because now the thing that I was created to do, which necessitated me becoming the person who I was created to be, might not be the person that you want to be in a relationship with, and might not be the person that you feel comfortable supporting. So I just feel like you have to discover your identity before you say I do to any type of relationship. So that's my take on it. I think you have to find your identity. You have to find your purpose before you enter into partnership. Let me know what you all think. What are the proper order? What's the proper order or the proper steps to relationships?